Welcome back again to your number one online residential TV, and I'm your host Kavagi Lavenda. So leo tumetafuta mheshimiwa. He's the current MP for the Lang'ata constituency because we want him to tell us the plans that he has for the people of Lang'ata. Sit with us and enjoy the dialogue. Welcome mheshimiwa to our talk show.
Thank you very much. First, I want to say thank you to the people of Lang'ata. Thank you for the support that they have given me since I started vying in 2013. I didn't make any 2013. They supported me again in 2017. I want to say thank you very much. Before I go to the manifesto of what I'm planning to do, it is good to talk about the scorecard of what we've done in the last 5 years. And for your information, we've done a lot. And these 5 years, we've managed to do so many things from education. You talk about security. We talk about roads. I talk about our bursary. So we've done so many things. And maybe just to start, because I realized very many people don't differentiate between the roles of a member of parliament and that of the county government. Right now, apart from legislation, representation, and oversight, there is the management of the CDF fund. And CDF fund is run and managed by the member of parliament through the CDF committee. The role of the CDF has been narrowed down after devolution. It's now education and security. There is a small percentage of it that goes to sports, only 2% of the CDF. 2% of the CDF also, you can use it on environment. 5% is on, you use it on emergency, but emergency related to education and security. You don't use it on disaster management, because disaster management is under the county government, and it's under the MCA and the governor. So going to what we've done in terms of CDF, one, we've been able to fix our schools. When you look at our schools, they were in bad condition, starting from Madaraka Primary School, which was not in good condition. We've managed to improve that school. Now even the student intake, when I was elected, was around 300 students in that school, in the entire school from class 1 to class 8. It has risen now to close to 800, going to maybe 900. Kongoni Primary School, the same. It was in bad condition. We've managed to renovate the school, paint the school, fix the roofs, the parking area, build the library, the computer labs, ensure that the school is in a conducive environment for our kids to study. And the school now, the intake when I was elected was around 400 students. It is now at 800 students. We've built a new school, a secondary school in South Sea called Kongoni Secondary School, just within the Kongoni Primary School. We built a new Lang'ata Technical and Vocational College in Madaraka that will serve the people of Lang'ata. Those ones who have not managed to go to college or university can now have an institution that they can do courses, plumbing, electrician, mechanic, masonry, and those short courses that can give skill to our young people so that they can be able to fend for themselves, either by creating a job opportunity or initiating business. That is education. We've managed our bursary properly. When I was elected, there was an issue. One of the promises that I made during the last campaign was that I will streamline the issue of the bursary so that those who deserve get bursary, and they will be given bursary without discrimination. That is a true story right now. If you ask the people of Lang'ata, they will tell you that they are no longer being discriminated on the bursary issue. They are getting the bursary. That is on the education. When I moved to the second part of it, I have not talked about many other schools. Ngei Primary School, Lang'ata West Primary School, we've managed to do the school, renovated the school. We even bought a bus for the school. I have built a new facility in Lang'ata Road Primary School, which will serve the students with special needs. You'll realize that in the society we have PWDs, and also we have kids who need attention. So we built a school that will cater for the kids with autism and special needs. We've equipped the school, and My plan going forward is actually to acquire a bus to be picking the kids from home, drop them in school, and take them back home, because these are kids that need some attention, and we need special attention. So we need to get a bus for them. When you go to Currency Girls, when I was elected, Currency Girls did not even have a good facility for our kids to take a shower. In fact, our girls used to wake up at night at 4 or 5 a.m. when there's still darkness, so that they can take a shower outside before the lights come. So we've built a good facility for them. We've added more classes. We are now completing a multi-purpose hall for the Currency Girls, so that our kids can get a good hall either to perform or as a dining for them. So and all the other schools we've improved. So I want to say on education we've really done well. We want to continue that work. My plan in high rise, Mheshimiwa Joa Shalom, he started a new school called Joa Shalom Primary School, and he left it at class 3. I've managed to complete the school to class 8 and build the administration block in Joa Shalom. I've written to Slum Upgrading Directorate requesting for more land in high rise, so that we can be able to add a secondary school in that place. We will continue with the issue of the bursary. There are schools that still have need more classes. We'll add more classes. We have finished Joa Shalom Primary School to class 8 and build the administration block. As I've indicated, I've requested the slum upgrading project for more space, so that we can be able to add a new secondary school in high rise. We are completing the secondary school in South Sea. We are also requesting, we've requested St. Mary's in Karen for space, so that we can build another secondary school there. So the point is, where we think we will need a school and we have a public land or a public institution that can provide a space to do the school, then we will do more additional school, because we have a deficit of secondary school. Actually, secondary school, we have a deficit of more than 100 secondary schools in Nairobi. And we can only do justice to the people of Nairobi by ensuring that we have enough secondary school and the primary schools. And with now the junior secondary that is coming up with the introduction of the CBC, then we'll need more institutions. So I promise that we'll add more institutions. We'll continue making sure the institutions that we have are in good condition, and we'll ensure that the bursary that we've been issuing continues, so that the people of Lang'ata can benefit from the CDF. Yes. Water is a big challenge in Lang'ata and Nairobi at large. And the reason why we have a challenge in water is because of two things. One, we have a problem with the source. The water that is coming to Nairobi is not enough. Nairobi as a whole need almost around 850 cubic liters of water every day. The water we are getting right now is around 500 cubic liters of water. That means we have a deficit of 300 million. I'm actually talking in terms of million. Nairobi needs 850 million cubic liters. We are getting 530 million. So we are at a deficit of slightly above 300 million cubic liters. So Lang'ata is one of the constituencies that is suffering the most because of where it is placed. If you know the history of our water is coming from Dekaini to Gigiri. It is diesel pumped to Apakabete, to a water reservoir in Apakabete. Then from Apakabete, it now comes through gravity all the way to Lang'ata. The pipes that are coming to Lang'ata were built in 80s and 90s. They were lesser development then. Now there are new developments in Kilimani, Lavington, in Kibra and in Lang'ata. And it's still depending on the pipes that were built 30 years back. Nairobi Water, which is in charge of water in Nairobi, is being funded by the county government. This is a devolved function. And therefore, Nairobi Water needed to have planned ahead, but because, of course, of so many issues, Nairobi Water is almost 30 years behind in terms of planning. Luckily, there is now the plan in collaboration with the national government, the Ministry of Water, and Nairobi Water and Athi Water. The Northern Collector Tunnel is coming up. The Northern Collector Tunnel will solve almost 80% of the water challenge that we have in Nairobi, that Lang'ata included. And right now, as an infrastructure to support the Northern Collector Tunnel, Udhiru Water Reservoir has been built. It is near completion now. A pipe from Udhiru that is going through Dagoretti Corner, through Karen, and is going all the way to Rongai is almost 70% complete. And the pipe now from Udhiru coming through Kilimani, Lavington area through the new road to NHC, and then it goes through along the bypass to Olesereni and all the way to Embakasi is now being done. That one now, that means with the completion of that water infrastructure and the completion of the Northern Collector Tunnel, we'll have a new infrastructure for water to supply to Langata. And God willing, by end of next year, 2023, that project should be complete and solve the water problem. On a short term, I've tried to do certain things to try and solve the water problem in Langata because it's the major problem that we have right now. We've done some boreholes, although these were short term. In Kongoni, we did a borehole. In Nairobi West prison, because there are so many families living there, we fixed the borehole which was already done there. I've done a borehole in Undugu. I've done a borehole in Silanga in Hares. I've done a borehole in Kijiji in Southlands. I've done a borehole in Bangladesh. We've done a borehole. We fixed the boreholes that was in Langata Police so that they can serve around 300 families living there. There is an incomplete borehole that was done in NHC. When I wrote to Nairobi Water, they came and did a borehole, but they have not done the infrastructure, the tank to hold the water, and now do the plumbing to fit into the grid of the NHC. There is a borehole that was done by Kidero in Hares, but it's not serving those people because there is a problem with the pump and they have not fixed it. So these were short-term solutions. Currently, we cannot do more boreholes because Warma has banned the drilling of more boreholes in Nairobi because the water reservoir and the water levels have really gone down, and because the water is getting less and less, it is getting contaminated. So the solution, the long-term solution that we have right now is ensuring that we push the national government to expedite on the Northern Collector Tunnel and fix the infrastructure for the supply.
Mheshimiwa, we want to appreciate the fact that you've supported the youth on this sector of sports. You have sponsored a lot of tournaments. Like recently you helped them hadi wakafika the final tournament and you awarded them. I want you to talk to them, to the youth. What will you keep on doing for them at after umeshaingia? Will you keep on supporting them on the tournaments? There are these facilities wamekuwa wakisema they lack. Can you address them?
Thank you very much. As I indicated before, 2% of the CDF, which is not a lot of money, 2% of the CDF, we are allowed to use it to organize sports. It is a bit limited in terms of what we can use it for, because it talks about buying balls, it talks about buying the sports gear, it talks about giving trophies, but it doesn't talk about giving award. You cannot use CDF to give cash awards unless you fundraise or you source for your money to give the cash awards. But you can organize. In fact, that sports fund, you cannot even use it to build a field, because it is defined in the act how you can use it. But you can build a field as a project of CDF away from the sports kitty. So what I want to say is that we have discussed with our incoming governor, Sakaja, on the plans that we want to do, because when you look at the fields that we have in Langata, the only public field that we have are the big national field. In fact, the Nyayo Stadium is in Langata, but it is a national field. It's available resource for Langata, but it's always busy with national events and other things. What we want to do is that we have play fields in our estates. Like Ngei 2, there's a play field that is at risk there of land grabbing. In Akiba 100, there is a play field there. In Madaraka, there is a play field. There is a play field that we used, the one for the prison. So we've agreed with the governor that those play fields that meet the standard of a regular football, we will make them and ensure that we turf them and ensure that we put them in a good condition, available for our youth. The ones that are small, we can also do the 7-a-side fields that can be used in the estates. 7-a-side football field, and then we have the basketball courts, the tennis courts, so that we can be able to nurture that talent in that sense. We also have the other sports, the volleyball, we have athletics, we have basketball. There is a field that I saved. It was supposed to be demolished in Mugumweni, and I actually supported in constructing it into a good condition. The one that is in Mugumweni along the NHC road. We will ensure that all these fields, the public lands, are protected and they are developed. and they are developed. If it is developing a social hall, like we've given a promise in Madaraka that we will develop the social hall there and the field so that we can be able to have a complete social hall with a court, with a studio for those who want to perform, those who have talent, who want to record their songs. You know, the artists, we also support them so that they can be able to record their songs and develop their talent in that sense. So just behind Mugumweni, next to the canting there at Raila Village, there is a community library there, and we have also promised to do a studio there so that we can be able to support our artists who want to sing and who are musicians, so that they can be able to record their songs cheaply and readily. Yeah.
Okay, you know, most people don't even know what you do in parliament. Most people even don't know the work of the MP in the constituency. So I'd like you to address the people for Langata. You tell them what you've done in the parliament.
Thank you very much. Parliament, you know, we do legislation, and mostly 80% of the work in parliament is done at the committee level. So when you are at the committee, you handle so many things. But you come and approve what has been done at the committee level. It is approved at the chambers near the plenary. And I want to say we've done a lot in terms of, I was in committee on trade and implementation. We did a lot of contribution in that committee. There are bills that have come to parliament, the apprenticeship bills that came, that we made our contribution, the CHV, the Community Health Volunteers Bill that came to Parliament, that we made a huge contribution. We've asked questions also. I've asked question about the market in Karen that's supposed to have been completed, the market in Mugumweni, the talent market that is still pending, that needs to be completed, the market in South Sea, the market in Nairobi West that has not been done. We've asked question about that. I've stood with my people when Safe Apartment in Hi-Res was to be demolished. I brought a petition to Parliament that stopped the demolition of 1,100 units of houses that is owned by the people of Langata. I remember I came with a committee there, and we came and did the investigation when Warma and Nema wanted to demolish the houses, and we managed to establish the truth and stop the purported malicious demolition of the Safe Apartments. 1,100 families are now living in peace. When Tobacco wanted to demolish the houses in Mugumweni, that is Royal Park, Sun Valley, KMA, all the way to Forest Edge, where St. Mary's Hospital, all the way to Forest Edge, I brought 2 petitions. The first one was investigating on the status of those houses there and the titling. The committee in Parliament came all the way to Langata, did the investigation, and found out that those people who were living there by right, and we managed to stop the demolition of 3,800 houses that are there in Langata right now, and I'm sure the families there are very happy that their member of parliament did represent them well and protected their interests. So I want to say to the people of Langata, I will continue doing my work. I know my work as a member of parliament is legislation, representation, oversight, and management of the bursary. And of course the general work, any other work that can come in the process that I can be able to help the people of Langata. I want to say that I will stand with the people of Langata anytime, any minute, any second.
Mheshimiwa, can you tell us the first 100 days after the election, what promise do you give the people of Langata?
We will continue the good work we are, you know, I'm the sitting member of parliament right now. So to me, it's not even about 100 days or 200 days. It's about continuing with the work that we've been doing. There are schools that need to be completed. There are projects that need to be completed. There are roads that need to be fixed. There are youth groups, women groups, business community that needs to be supported. In accordance with the manifesto that we have and the manifesto of the Kenya Kwanza, we'll ensure that we fix the problems that we have. We'll ensure that we improve our Langata constituency. I am happy that we are engaging with the governor, and I want to speak about this. Part of the reason why some of the things that are devolved have not been done in Langata, there's the issue of the hospitals, the issue of the roads that are pending, the issue of water, the issue of sanitation and garbage collection, the issue of street lighting. All those issues are devolved function. And this is what we've agreed with the governor, is that in the first 100 days, the governor has promised that he will actualize the issue of municipalities, or what he called it, boroughs. These barrows, what we are proposing is that Nairobi is too big to be managed from one center. Nairobi need to be further devolved. And we are proposing creation of 5 municipalities or 5 barrows. That is Nairobi North, Nairobi South, Nairobi East, Nairobi West, and Nairobi Central. Lang'ata will be falling under the Nairobi South Barrow. And the plan is that every barrow will have a board that is governing their own affairs and will have a manager that is governing their own affairs. And in the Lang'ata South Barrow, we will have members of the estates and the residents association being part of the board that is managing the barrow, transport sector, planning guys, engineers, doctors, the local mwananchi that will represent the interests of their respective areas in that barrow. We will also have a manager that is governing that barrow. That means we will devolve more resources down there, and we will devolve services. Instead of going all the way to the CBD to ask for a license, we'll have a department for licensing in the Nairobi South Barrow. We'll have a firefighting station in Nairobi South Barrow. We will have the issue of garbage collection managed by the barrow itself. The issue of transport managed by the barrow itself, so that in case of a failure, you don't first go to the governor, you ask the manager of that barrow what is the problem, and we can be able to fix our problem in the close range. Now the members of parliament, the MCAs, the ward managers who falls within that barrow, and the residents will give their priority areas and items and propose on the ways we can solve them. So I think that is the most important thing that we should also take home.
When you look around Lang'ata, most people, they don't even know that there are some slums in Lang'ata, but there are some slums. We have one in Mugumoini, we have one in Kuinda. Those housing, I'm pretty sure we as human, hata ukitembea huko, someone will not feel very well living in such areas. What are you planning to do for these people on the housing department?
Thank you very much. Of course, everyone wants to live in a good house. And in fact, it's one of the requirements of our constitution that every Kenyan should live in a decent house. As part of the government initiatives, in the last regime, the current Jubilee, we had promised that we'll do houses for Kenyans, cheap houses, affordable houses, which was never actualized. Lang'ata right now, we have an ongoing program, slum upgrading program, in high-rise ward, because that is where we have a biggest slum, part of Kibra. Kibra slum is in Lang'ata constituency. And the slum upgrading, the first, the high-rise slum project, then we went to the Canaan slum project. Now we are moving to Zone B, where people have been actually asked to move out so that the houses can be built and then they can come back. The housing program is a very important program, and we are supporting the government and the incoming government in terms of building these houses. Currently, we are in a deficit. 60% of the urban dwellers in Nairobi are living in slum, and shouldn't be the case. And when you talk of slum, you talk of sanitation. When you talk of sanitation, you talk of disease. So it is a whole chain of problems. So if you fix the housing problem, then you fix the entire chain of sanitation, because now there will be the issue of drainages, there will be the issue of piped water, and then you talk of piped water, then you'll reduce disease. So it's a whole thing. It's about the entire system. And I want to say we will support the government to ensure that we have this housing. We will support the initiative of the government to build houses, affordable houses. The initiative of the government when it comes to parliament to subsidize on the building materials, so that now Kenyans who wish to build the houses on their own can be able to afford building those houses on their own. The government is also promising, like the Kenya Kwanza government is promising that it will enter into contracts with private partners who are willing to build houses, provide land. As you heard our Sakaja said, the part of the promise that the county government is promising is that they will provide the available land to private sector as part of their partnership, and also agree with the private sector that on building houses, they will subsidize the prices to the residents who want to buy them, and also bring also the issue of tenant purchase, so that Nairobians who are willing, instead of paying rent and the house belongs to someone, you start paying that rent with a plan of owning that house after 5 years or 10 years, so that we can have the tenant purchase agreement for for those people who want to do houses. The slum upgrading program also should continue. The issue of subsidizing the building materials, supporting the Juakali sector so that they can produce the building materials also cheaply. So you cover the whole array of things in terms of creating employment for young people who are in Juakali sector, ensuring that those the developers can be able to develop houses using cheap materials, and therefore the cost of buying a house comes down, and also government supporting the private sector in terms of providing land and providing subsidies and providing incentives for them to build houses, the low-cost houses for Kenyans to own. Yeah.
Mheshimiwa, now let's go to the road and infrastructure sector. There are some poor roads, but they haven't been carpeted. We have some estates, but within Langata, the roads, they are still in poor condition. When you're getting to this long term, can you tell the people what you'll do for them?
Thank you very much for that question. I think I have done almost 100 roads in the last 5 years. Because when you start from Nairobi West, the entire Nairobi West shopping center was in bad condition. We were able to fix those roads using the Kera Fund, the Kura Fund, and the county government. In fact, the only remaining road in Nairobi West is a Sumba Road, just behind there, because we fixed these other roads near May, all the shopping center, and maybe there is a road behind that comes from just comes before the Madaraka roundabout. I forgot the name of the road. But if you go to Nairobi West, we fix roads. If you go to Madaraka, we fix roads. Ole Shapara Road was fixed by the county government. The shopping center, we fixed it. If you come to Mugumoini, in fact, opposite to Uru when I was elected, there was no road with a tarmac there. Right now, there is no road without a tarmac because we fixed all of them. The remaining road from Ngeno Estate to the Breeze, the contractor has been awarded. In fact, should be reporting today so that they can fix that road. If you go to the Kitengela Road, you go to the old Uchumi Road, Langata High School, Otiende, all those roads we have fixed. Maybe just from Otiende all the way to Raila Village down there is the remaining part of it. Estate roads, we fixed some of them have not been fixed. South Sea, we fixed majorly most of the roads. There are estate roads that are remaining. There is the road behind Ole Serene there, one road or two. But majorly, even right now, if you go to South Sea, there are roads that are being done by Kura, some were done by Kera, some were done by NMS. But what I want to say is that I am sure if you are to compare other MPs who have been in Langata before in terms of roads and what I've done within the last 5 years, I will rank the top because we've managed to push. This is a devolved function that's supposed to be done by the county government, but because when the county government was kind of swallowed by the NMS, and the NMS was reporting to the office of the president, then it became a national function, and we were able to pull some strings and write letters and push and lobby to ensure that these roads were done. We want to continue this trend so that we ensure that the remaining estate roads, we are able to fix them. And the remaining feeder roads that have not been done, we are able to fix them. And I'm very confident that in the next 5 years, God willing, we'll be able to fix all our estate roads, any untarmac road in Langata, and Langata will be fully tarmacked in the next 5 years.
Mheshimiwa, what else do you have to say for the people of Langata?
What I want to say is that we've done a lot, but there is a lot also to be done. For example, in terms of empowerment, the women, youth, and business community, we've done a lot. I remember like there are groups in Langata, the Tegemeo youth group that supported me from 2017. When I was elected, they had done their savings and they wanted me to support them to buy a car. What I can confirm is that Tegemeo Youth Group right now is having a matatu that supplies town to Langata. There are youth groups that have supported, they wanted to buy a posho mill, they wanted printing machine, others want washing machine to do their laundry works, others wanted car wash machines. There are those that wanted me to support them with the motorbikes, there are those that wanted me to support them in terms of empowerment, education empowerment and technical support. Some of the youth groups, we've managed to sponsor them using the CDF to go and do courses at National Industrial Training Authority, NITA. They have done electrical trainings. They have done plumbing. They have done masonry. They have done carpentry. Others have gone to Kibit in Ngong to do machine operator. And all this is in terms of empowerment, because you can either empower through financial support or empower through education and technical skills, so that our young people can be able to acquire knowledge, to use it to seek for employment, or acquire knowledge to use it to initiate business. There are those that we have trained on pastry. There are those that we've trained on salon. Those we've trained on pastry, we provide them with equipment, the ovens and the pastry equipment, so that they can initiate their business along that line. Those that we have trained with beauty and salon, we have provided them with salon equipment, and they have initiated business along that line. Another thing is on the issue of the social support to our community. We've been able, right now we are sponsoring around 800 people in Langata, fully paying their NHIF annually. These are the elderly people in our community, the persons living with disability, and the people with chronic illness. I want to say that we've been liaising with our CHV, the community health volunteers, to identify these people. They have been making application. The CDF Act allow us to have some social welfare fund to ensure that we support these members of the community. And I am happy that very many members are happy that we are supporting these persons with disability, the elderly in our society, and those with chronic illness, be it cancer, those who are going through dialysis, those who are suffering with HIV, to ensure that we support them medically so that they can be able to get services. Yeah.
As we come to the end of the talk show, we're going to do the closing remarks. So it's now a few days to the coming election. I want Mheshimiwa, you address your people now. You give them your final message.
Thank you very much to the people of Langata. I want to appreciate the support you've given me all through. I want to say thank you very much. And I want to say thank you for supporting the ideas that I have and for voting for me in 2017. We are yet in another election. I want to ask for your support. My slogan is Kazi Iendelee. The kazi of bursary iendelee, the kazi of improving our schools iendelee, the kazi of fixing our roads iendelee, the kazi of finding the solution to our water problem iendelee, the kazi of ensuring that we have security in Langata iendelee, the kazi of ensuring that we fix the unemployment, the women empowerment, the business community iendelee. I want to ask for the votes and for your support in this coming election. I want to say I will not let you down. Just like I did not let you down from 2017 up to now, I will not let you down from 2022 moving forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you for tuning in with us. That was Mheshimiwa Nixon Korir. Till next time, guys. See you the same place, same time. I was your host, Lavenda Kavagi. Bye.